See this last night, Fever superstar Caitlin Clark joining the NBC Sunday Night Basketball pregame show. She was a special contributor for last night's Lakers-Knicks game.
You can see her here alongside Pacers legend Reggie Miller. She is back on NBC March 29th when the Knicks play the Thunder in
Caitlin Clark just made her debut on NBC's Basketball Night in America, and the internet is losing its mind. She didn't show up with safe, generic commentary, or recycled talking points. She brought real substance, the kind that instantly had people saying she might already be better at broadcasting than analysts who've been doing this for decades. The reaction to her first appearance was immediate and intense. Fans, media members, and even skeptics started asking the same question: can Caitlin Clark become a legitimate broadcasting star while still playing professionally? Or is this just hype fueled by her popularity?
Our special correspondent, welcome to the team, Caitlin Clark. Yes.
First time in MSG for a Knicks game, so it's pretty cool.
I know, it's our first Knicks game, first time feeling the atmosphere. We got to get you to play on this court one day.
We have to talk to Adam about that.
Can we make it mellow? Honestly, if there's someone
even if it's a preseason game, we got to get it done. I don't think the Liberty will want to move a game over here, but we'll play anybody. It'll be fun.
Yeah. How could you describe maybe the atmosphere your first time in it?
Well, I think as a player, like, this is kind of when you feel the atmosphere the most, is when you're out on the court warming up. So, I mean, there's just a different type of buzz. And obviously when LeBron comes to town, it's probably really different. But, you know, Knicks fans are crazy, and I love it. I love people that are passionate about basketball. So
within minutes of Clark sitting down with NBC's crew, social media exploded. People who normally ignore WNBA coverage were suddenly praising how natural she looked on camera. Basketball analysts tweeted about how smoothly she handled the discussion, and casual fans were surprised by how clearly she broke down the league situation without sounding like a corporate spokesperson. The timing made it even more interesting. The WNBA is less than 100 days away from the start of the 2026 season, yet the league and the Players Association are still negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement. There's no expansion draft yet for Portland and Toronto. Free agency hasn't happened. The draft is scheduled for April 13th, but nothing is finalized because the CBA isn't complete. It's complete chaos. And right in the middle of that mess, NBC puts Caitlin Clark on national television to talk about it. That could have been a minefield for a first appearance. Instead, it turned into a masterclass.
You can catch the brightest stars in the game. Caitlin Clark going toe-to-toe with the biggest women's basketball stars on the biggest stage. And guess what, guys? We're less than 100 days away from the start of the 2026 season, but the WNBA and the Players Association are still negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement, with the latest meeting actually scheduled for tomorrow. You can take a look at last year's offseason calendar. The league is already behind schedule. No expansion draft yet for the two new franchises in Portland and Toronto. And ahead of last season, the Golden State Valkyries expansion draft, you can see it. It took place in December of 2026, and they're scheduled to tip off May 8th. Caitlin, I'm just curious, because you said that this moment right now is one of the biggest moments the WNBA has ever seen. Looking forward into the future, what would you like to see happen as you come to a negotiation?
Well, honestly, I don't think it's just a big moment for the WNBA. I think all of women's sports, I think this is one of the biggest moments we've ever had. So, you know, I feel very confident that we're going to get something done, and that's because we're in this moment because of the product we put on the floor. So we need to be able to continue to do that, and I know everybody's working really hard. There's a meeting tomorrow that's super important, and I truly do believe we're going to get something done here in the next couple weeks. But like you said, I mean, there's a lot of boxes that we still need to check. We've added two new teams. I mean, there's going to be more players than ever, and then we have to get into free agency, then have a normal draft as well. So there's a lot of things left to do, but I really do feel confident that both sides are going to reach it.
When asked about the CBA negotiations, Clark didn't fall back on a bland, "everything will work itself out" answer. She called it one of the biggest moments not just in WNBA history, but in all of women's sports. She acknowledged how important the upcoming meeting was, expressed real confidence that a deal would be reached in the next few weeks, and then calmly laid out everything still on the table. 2 new expansion teams, more players than ever, free agency, and the need for a normal draft process. That wasn't scripted. That was understanding. Most active players would have deflected or stuck to safe talking points. Caitlin gave a thoughtful, informed answer that showed she understands the business side of basketball as well as the game itself. And the contrast couldn't be sharper. While some WNBA veterans are protesting outside league offices with inflatable props, Caitlin Clark is on national television professionally discussing the future of the league. One approach builds credibility and grows the audience. The other makes the league look unserious.
For April 13th, but the growth of the league has been so much. I mean, can you just help us to understand the transition this league is going on right now?
I mean, it's incredible, and I remember my first WNBA game when I was a young girl. I went to the Minnesota Lynx when they had their dynasty with Maya Moore, and they were playing the Seattle Storm, and now basically any arena you go to, it's sold out. We're adding 2 teams. We're up to 14 now, and then hopefully getting to 18 in the next couple years. So, you know, business is booming, and that's a really good thing, and we kind of just got to keep meeting the moment. The talent's getting better and better. You see it at the college level coming into the professional game too. So I feel very fortunate, and hopefully I have a long career ahead of me as well.
Well, just know that the league's fortunate to have you, a transcendent piece of growing the game. We appreciate you just joining us on basketball.
When the host asked Caitlin Clark to help viewers understand the transition the league is going through, she didn't answer like a talking head. She made it personal. She talked about going to her first WNBA game as a young girl, watching the Minnesota Lynx dynasty with Maya Moore facing the Seattle Storm. Then she connected that memory to the present. Now arenas are sold out. New teams are being added. The league is moving from 14 teams to potentially 18 in just a few years. That's storytelling. She took a question about league growth and turned it into a full-circle narrative about her journey from fan to player. That kind of answer resonates even with people who don't follow basketball closely. It's relatable, genuine, and never forced. She capped it with a simple but powerful line. Business is booming, and that's a really good thing, and we just have to keep meeting the moment. That was Caitlin Clark acknowledging her role in the boom without ever saying it out loud. Because let's be honest, a huge reason business is booming is because she exists. Her games draw massive ratings. Her jersey sales explode. Arenas sell out when the Fever come to town. But instead of taking credit, she framed it as a collective effort, rising talent, stronger college pipelines, and a better overall product. That's smart positioning. Everyone knows she's a major driver, but she never makes it about herself. The host wrapped the segment by calling her a transcendent piece of growing the game, which might be the most accurate description of her impact. Caitlin's response said everything. I feel very fortunate and hopefully have a long career ahead of me as well. Humble, but intentional. She's quietly telling everyone she plans to be here for a long time, and this is where the debut really matters. NBC didn't give her a throwaway segment buried late at night. They put her on their flagship basketball program, sitting alongside NBA legends, analyzing the game at the highest level. That's prime real estate. And she delivered. If she keeps doing this, NBC will want her back. Other networks will take notice. She's building a broadcasting career while still playing, something very few athletes ever pull off. The business implications are massive. If Caitlin becomes a regular presence on NBA broadcasts, she introduces WNBA storylines to audiences who might never seek them out. Casual NBA fans tuning in for Lakers. Knicks are suddenly hearing Caitlin Clark break down WNBA CBA negotiations. That kind of cross-promotion is priceless. Some critics argue active players shouldn't broadcast, calling it a distraction or a conflict of interest. That argument collapses under scrutiny. Caitlin doing this raises her profile, which raises the league's profile, which benefits everyone. She also looked completely comfortable on camera. No stiffness. No awkward pauses. She was relaxed, conversational, and natural. She smiled at the right moments, made eye contact, and never rushed her answers. The small comment about enjoying the Knicks game in slippers humanized her. She wasn't just a superstar, she was still a fan. That relatability is a big reason she connects with audiences the way she does. NBC scheduling her return on March 29th in Oklahoma City tells you everything. This wasn't a one-off. They're building her into the rotation. That means more exposure, more reps, and a growing media resume. And the timing couldn't be better. With the WNBA season approaching but stalled by CBA negotiations, Caitlin gives NBC a way to keep the league relevant during the NBA season. There's also an uncomfortable truth here. Caitlin is almost certainly making more money from this NBC role than from her WNBA salary, which sits around $76,000 for the season. That's not a criticism of her. It's an indictment of the league's salary structure. The biggest star in women's basketball making more money talking about the game than playing it professionally is absurd. And it's exactly why the CBA matters so much. Some veterans have criticized Caitlin for pursuing media opportunities instead of focusing solely on basketball. That criticism rings hollow. If the league isn't paying enough, why wouldn't players maximize their value elsewhere? That's not selfishness. That's intelligence. Calling it anything else is jealousy disguised as concern. What this debut really proved is that Caitlin Clark's star power transcends basketball. People watched because she was on. That's what makes an athlete transcendent. NBC understands that, which is why they didn't isolate her on a separate WNBA show. They put her right where she belongs, on their main basketball platform. And she didn't look out of place for a second. Caitlin Clark isn't just building a playing career. She's building a brand, player, analyst, ambassador, and future media star. When her playing days eventually end, she won't be starting over. She'll already be established. That's long-term thinking, and it's rare. Her broadcast debut wasn't just good. It was a signal. She's not just changing the game on the court. She's reshaping how the game is presented to the world.